need to consistently have your mind, yeah, on your purpose of life, isn't it? That you need to consistently understand the halal and the haram. Yeah, that you need to consistently understand what the hukum shara is legislating, isn't it? This is the way that us as Muslims, we will actually go on to this path that we're trying to go on to. Yeah, this is the way we're not going to be actually neglecting ourselves. But the fundamental issue is that death waits for no one, as we've already discussed, isn't it? That death waits for no one, isn't it? Yeah. Regardless of how old you are, how young you are. Yeah, many of us here have seen our personal friends, personally family members pass away. So what is the recompense for those people, brothers, here who don't prepare? Yeah, today's discussion, brothers, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the good person when he dies, yeah, because judging from the title, it says wreck yourself, yeah. So I'm just going to discuss about the aspect of those people who do not prepare for Yawmul Akhirah. Now, many narrations of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ, he says that, you know, when the angel of death, he approaches a person 70 times a day. Yeah? He approaches a person 70 times a day. That's approximately every 20 minutes. Yeah? Think about it that way. Every 20 minutes the angel of death visits you. So since I've been here, the angel of death has visited all of us once. And it's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Rabb, can I take his soul? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala either permits it, or tells it, or delays it, basically. Now the issue is for those people here who have transgressed against their own selves, what is the recompense for the angel of death? Yeah. In narrations that the Prophet ﷺ says that when the angel of death approaches a person, yeah, the figure of the angel of death is so disgusting, yeah, and such a vile picture, yeah, that the person that is taking his soul away, he cannot give anything away in terms of his breath, because he's so awed and so shocked by such a foul and physical being that he has no capacity within his within his throat to actually give anything away of breath. He's so taken back by it. And what is the narration, brothers? The narration is that when the angel of death approaches the soul, and the soul knows that he has transgressed against itself, what does it start doing? Does it start acting like a big man? Like, yeah, come on, go take my life away then. Does it say that? Yeah, come on, take my life away. Yeah, you think you're an angel of death bad man? Yeah, come on. Does it say that? You know what the angel of death starts doing? It becomes like Flubber. You seen Flubber, the film? It starts bouncing around everywhere in your body. Tries hiding in your fingernails. Tries hiding every single aspect of your inch of your body it can. It tries hiding. Yeah? It tries running around. It goes crazy in your body. So what does the angel of death do? Yeah? The angel of death smashes its claw into you, yeah? And grabs your flesh and it separates it from the veins. Yeah? It severs it from the veins, yeah? To the narration, to the extent that it's like having wet wool wrapped around a thorny branch and ripping it apart. Yeah? Ripping it right apart. And Imam al-Ghazali in his books, you know, he talks about the concept of pain. And he says, you know, in life, every time you feel pain, there's always a barrier that goes through before the pain, you actually feel the pain. So for example, Imam al-Ghazali, he mentions that within every person is the soul, isn't it? And the pain that you feel is dependent on the pain touching your soul. So if the penetration is this much skin and then the soul, then it means this much skin has blocked, yeah, some of the pain. Yeah. So if there's a block this much to your soul, yeah, in terms of your skin and stuff like that, yeah, then that will take in some of the penetration, isn't it? Before it actually finally touches your soul, because your soul feels the pain. But Imam al-Ghazali says, imagine, brothers, yeah, of a pain which goes through no penetration. Because when death comes to you, does it go through your skin? It takes the soul out straight away. And the reason why Imam al-Ghazali says that people do not shout or scream at the moment of death is because they don't have enough muscles in their body working for them to shout out. You know, when you get hurt, you're like, because you've got a bit of muscle left in you to give out that anguish, isn't it? Imam al-Ghazali says that because of the direct penetration of the soul, you have no ounce of oomph to give back. And this is the actually reality of what happens to people who actually neglect themselves for Yawmul Qiyamah and actually don't prepare for death. And this is one of the fundamental things that we need to be thinking about. And you know what, brother, there's so many things that we could be discussing about. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that, you know, when that soul that has transgressed against itself, when it's put to the grave, what are the consequences? You know, we hear these stories so many times, but what are its consequences? You know, they say that the grave is made as small as a matchbox. Yeah? Now, brothers, I'm not a very large brother, yeah? But I ain't going to fit in a matchbox, man. Yeah? It's not, it's unrational to think like that. Your rib cages are going to be like this, and you're going to be able to fit in a matchbox. And they say that a companion will come and accompany you. And the person in the grave will say, "Oh, you foul so-and-so, who are you? Yeah, why are you here in my grave for?" He comes up with, "I'm your bad deeds. I'm here to accompany you." And they say, you know, your bad deeds has such a foul smell, yeah, has such a foul smell that the person will feel like ripping his face off. Yeah? You know, whenever you know, when the dustbin goes past, they collect your rubbish and the dustbin goes past, it smells bad, man, yeah? But you just do this, man, and it works out. Imagine a stench so bad, you'd feel like you want to rip your face off. Yeah? You're going to feel like, I want to rip my face off, man. Like, and you're going to be living with this guy, man. Yeah? I can't stand it when brothers don't take showers, man. But this guy, man, allow it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah, it's one of the things that you can't, yeah, it's actually, the torture in itself is such a detrimental thing to the human mind. But you know what, brothers, it's a motivation for us. That we should actually strive to do good works because we don't want to be in that position. Yeah, we want to actually fix ourselves up for that situation. And I'll mention some quick points, inshallah, yeah, on how we can do that. And maybe in the question and answers as well. But I just want to give you the final example, yeah. And Imam al-Ghazali, he gives a beautiful example of the Muslims in this dunya. Imam al-Ghazali, he mentions that, you know, the believer, yeah, is like the person in a jungle. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure many of you have heard this example, but it just beautifies the perfect example. Imam al-Ghazali says it's like a person in a jungle, and he's being chased by a lion. Yeah, so he starts running. Yeah? He's like, what the bloody? He starts legging it, you get, yeah, and then he comes to a well, and he jumps into the well, and on the way down, he grabs onto a rope. He grabs onto a rope, but he looks down, and he sees a massive snake waiting for him. Yeah, his like mouth is open, like ready to eat him. Do you get, yeah? And then while he's looking at the top of the rope, he sees a black mice and a white mice chewing the rope. Yeah, he's like, oh my, like he's in trouble, man. Yeah, if he gets out, there's a lion waiting for him. The black and white mice are eating the rope, so eventually he's going to drop into the snake's mouth. And at that moment, a drop of honey falls into his mouth. And then he forgets about everything. Yeah, he thinks he's in like Wonderworld or something. Yeah, he starts he's like he's got imagination like there's like a green grass with a rainbow and he's skipping down with fairies and that kind of picture. He's like, yeah, man, I'm living. Yeah, he just forgot about the whole situation. And Imam al-Ghazali says, look, what is the example to us? Imam al-Ghazali says that the lion is okay, the animal, the beast, is very dangerous, is the angel of death, which is always coming after us. And the snake at the bottom of the well is eventual death, isn't it? Your grave, where you're going to end up at. And the black mice and the white mice that were chewing on the rope represent night and day. So every night and every day goes past, you're actually getting closer to your grave and your death. But the honey is the dunya. We have a little taste of the dunya and we just forget about everything. And you know the Prophet ﷺ in a very fantastic statement, yeah? You know the Prophet ﷺ had a skill in terms of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the ability to give nasiha, but in a very poetic way. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, ad-dunya Daru man la dara lahu.